The next carrier type, the next carrier category are Asian style carriers. And there are all different kinds of Asian style carriers. There's dais or Baydais, which is the pronunciation for what we used to call tais. We've now realized that that pronunciation was incorrect. So it's either Dai or Baydai, depending on what dialect it came from. There's also Podegis. There are Anbuhimos, and a lot of these are becoming really popular, and it's awesome. I love seeing the traditional carriers become popular in our modern society. It's very important, I feel, that we acknowledge where a lot of these carriers came from. It's important. I like to stop and let folks know that the long wraps a lot of times came from Europe. Germany has a very long tradition of using the long wraps. Short wraps a lot of times come from the Africa area. This is very, very generalized information, but that area tended to use short woven pieces of fabric to carry their little ones. The Central and South American countries used slings. They used their rebozos, which is a very important piece of fabric in their culture, and they used that throughout their life. And part of what they used that for was to carry their babies in, and it went as a one shoulder carry. So there's a lot of this stuff has come from other places, and I feel it's very important to acknowledge that. So the Asian style carrier that I like to show when I do a one-on-one presentation is the Dai. And this is, the reason why I like to do this one is because it's one of the most easily accessible, and because Infantino has made them over the years and sold them in big box stores. So this is actually an Infantino carrier, and it is quite easy to come by, either new in stores or in consignment stores. So this is a great carrier. It's a great carrier style, but this carrier in particular is a really great budget carrier in my book. It's a great carrier regardless of your budget. But this is a Dai, and a Dai, traditional Dai, is a rectangle of fabric with 4 sashes. The short sashes go around your waist, the long sashes go over your shoulders. The nice thing about it is that because it is not very structured, it's easily pliable, and it's easily made to fit babies of different sizes. So with this one, I know I can wear it different ways, and in fact with him, usually I start out with it in what we call apron style, because it looks like an apron. If anybody has ever worn an apron, we're getting to the point where folks don't necessarily know what aprons look like. But with him and his size, I know I'm going to need to flip it and make it a little bit shorter. This is a black on black, so it's a little hard to see. But then I'm going to tie the straps here. And then when I bring this up, I'm going to cinch this fabric here, this panel fabric, to make it narrower. So let me get in the baby. Come here, you. Are you getting tired of this? No? Good. Good. So I'm going to bring this up in between his legs, walk this up his back, smooth it up again across his back, and I'm going to put these over my shoulders. Now, you can see that he's supported from knee to knee, but he's not hyperextended. I'm going to pull these straps down first, and then around, down, and then around. And then for this demo, I'm going to do a little twist, and I'm going to come back and tie in the back. So this is awesome for longevity. I can put him in here. I can wear him until he's well over a year old in the same carrier. I can do front carries, hip carries, back carries, a lot of flexibility. I like to, it's like a wrap, but a little bit easier. You can't do quite what you can do with a wrap, but you can do a lot of different things. But it doesn't have quite the learning curve that wraps do. So its advantage is really its flexibility and the way you can use it with a wide range of ages and lots of different carrying options. The downside is that it has to be tied every time. So versus a soft structure carrier, which I'm getting ready to show you, it's a little bit, takes an extra couple of seconds to get into. Sometimes folks don't like that the straps drag in the parking lot when you're getting baby out of the car. I make sure that I don't invest in dais that are really fancy and won't go through my washing machine. This carrier is basically indestructible, and you can wash it as many times as you need to, and it'll hold up. So this is a great car carrier as well. So this is a great carrier for very tall wearers, because what happens with soft structure carriers, and I'll show you this in a minute, is that they're designed to be worn from the hips to the natural waist. But depending on baby's size, some wearers that are taller than average may need to wear higher up on their body to get baby up to that kissable, monitorable area. With the structured waist, sometimes that cannot fit quite as well. So with a May-Dai, because of the straps, it makes it really easy to wear wherever it works on your body. So it's not, this is designed to be done like this. It's designed to be worn wherever you need to wear it. So if you've got a very tall caregiver, honestly, if you have a very short caregiver as well, because sometimes the soft structure carriers don't fit very petite people as well as they do your quote-unquote average size wearer. So these are excellent for that. I've worked with folks that were in wheelchairs. These are great for that. These are great for any time you're going to be sitting. If you happen to work at home, for instance, and you sit at your computer at home and you want to baby wear while you do that, this is a great option for that, because it doesn't have that structured waist. So that is the May-Dai. All right, let's get you out of here. Oh, I think you're getting tired. I think you're getting tired of me messing with you. We got one more to show. One more to show. One more. All right, so the last type of carrier is the soft structure carrier, and I put this in the Asian style carrier department category, because the traditional soft structure carrier, and that's black on black, so that's hard to see. So let me flip it around so you can see this. In my opinion, is just a May-Dai with buckles. So it has the same square of fabric, and then instead of tie sashes, it has padded sashes with buckles. And that's not a coincidence, because Karen Frost, who started Ergo, or so the tale goes that I was told, was living in Hawaii at the time and saw the Asian influence in the carriers there. And she thought, this would be really cool if it had buckles, it would be faster, and then I could put some structure in the waist to carry some of the weight, and I can have padding and straps and stuff. So the thing that you'll notice with this and most standard size carriers like the Ergos, the Bobas, the Tulas, is that this is really too wide and too tall to put an infant in. So the advantage of soft structure carriers in general is that they can carry a lot of weight for a long time as comfortably as possible. I do try to remind people that as your baby gets bigger, it may be less and less comfortable for you to wear for 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes I'll get people and they'll say, well, when I've worn for 2 hours, you know, my back hurts. I say, well, if I stood for 2 hours, my back would hurt, even if I didn't have a baby on me. So they can only do what they can do, but they can carry a lot of weight for a longer period of time, more comfortably than some of the other styles. Their downside is really that they have little flexibility because they're so structured and so engineered. So that's why there's so many of them. Because what fits me may not fit you. They're a lot like, soft structure carriers are a lot like jeans. And you can't buy jeans based on other people's internet reviews of them, because just because I wear Old Navy jeans and they fit my body, and they're the ones that I like the best, that means nothing about how it's going to fit you and your body. So soft structure carriers are really something that you need to try to get in person if at all possible and try on and find the one that fits you. So the other downside is that the standard size soft structure carriers are not designed to be used with an infant. So the carrier companies have realized that people want to carry their infants in these. So they have come up with two different ways of doing that. There are standard sized carriers that come with an insert that goes inside, and then there are carriers that adjust the size of the carrier adjusts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through. I don't have an insert with me right now, so I am just going to kind of talk you through how I would use this with him with an insert. And then, so you put it on just like that. Again, you want these to fit somewhere between your hips and your natural waist is where they're designed to be worn. It's very, very important that the straps be able to tighten enough that the back supports baby's weight or baby's back, because we don't want them to slump and then have issues with their breathing. So that's the problem that we have with larger carriers and smaller babies. So that's where the insert comes in. So what an insert looks like, there's different kinds, but the most common type, the type that would go in this carrier, has a padded pillow part at the bottom, and then it has like a quilted support around the back. So what it's going to do is it's going to boost baby up, and it's going to fill in the rest of the size of the carrier. So what happens? Oh, sweetie, you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep. What happens is I recommend bringing baby to your chest. You put the pillow part underneath, support their legs so that they're not swimming in there or they're not standing on their feet, because what we don't want them to do is stand on this waistband. And then the rest of it comes up and around and supports their back. So then once I've got this all filled in, then I walk this up the back, walk this up their back, and put my arms in. So they are being supported inside the carrier by the insert. I know you're sleeping. I'll put you in the carrier one more time, I promise. So the second way that carriers take care, that work with infants, is by adjusting the size of the carrier itself. So this is a different brand. Ergo has its own carrier that does this type of thing, but this is a different brand. This is the Lola Baby, and at this point it's in the wide setting, so it is a standard sized carrier. But then the way this one works is you take these parts off the waistband, bring them down here, and snap. And you can see now I have a narrower carrier. This carrier is designed with the with the extender panel down to make a shorter carrier, and then as baby gets bigger, or if you need head support or head support, then you lift it up that way. So let me show you how this works with him. So I don't need an insert with this one. Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So then, oh, baby. Yeah. So then now this fits between his legs, similar to the way the Mayday did. Arms through. Yeah, I know, sweetie. And then I clip this part. Oh, sweetie. What's the matter? What's the matter? Let me get your baby. And as you can see now, he fits inside the carrier itself. So, like I said, the advantages of the soft structure carriers is that they're very quick. They have zero learning curve. They can take a lot of weight for a small amount of time. The disadvantages are the way they work with an infant. They really start to shine with older babies and toddlers. Some people find, especially with an infant, that they're kind of bulky, that they don't need all of the padding. They don't need the structured waist, so it kind of gets in the way. Some people love it. Some people love the ease of it and the fusslessness of it. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. What you probably noticed as I was talking is that there is no perfect carrier. There is no carrier that works for everybody in every situation. There is not one magical carrier that is the best. The best carrier is the one that fits you, your little one, and your budget. And there are carriers that will do that for just about everybody. So it depends a lot on what you're looking to do while you're wearing and how you like to carry baby.